Hey everyone, welcome back to the YouTube channel. My name is Tim, and today we're going to be working on a 2017 Jeep Grand Cherokee, and I'm going to bring you guys along. So I'll be showing you guys how to remove the front bumper, replace your AC lines, and unmount and remount your radiator while adding in some grommets to the support bracket. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and let's get straight into the video. Before we tear into this thing today, here's what you'll want to grab: a flathead screwdriver, 10 and 13mm socket or wrench, and some plastic fastener pliers. And honestly, that's most of the job. Guys, seriously, a huge shout out to Rock Auto. They were awesome, shipped all this stuff in no time at all, and I was able to get all the parts on their website. It's awesome. It's a little bit cheaper than your regular stores that you walk into, but they give you a magnet, was pretty cool. And what's cool about these magnets is, as a kid, I actually remember going through my parents' kitchen and on our fridge, it was just full of these magnets. My dad loves Rock Auto, and I think I'm a Rock Auto fan. Let's start with removing the bumper. First things first, you're going to want to move down to the lower. There's going to be 3 of these little twist tabs. All you're going to do is just twist them and pull them right out. They're pretty simple. So there's actually 3 that line the skid plate, and then if you look right here, there's actually one more that is on the liner right here, so just remove that one, and there's also one on the far side over there. Before we can remove the bumper, we've got to free up some of the wheel liner space. So there's a handful of clips and a bolt holding it in. I'll show you the easiest way to get these out without breaking them. Alrighty, before removing the bumper, you've actually got to remove this liner on this seam, and so it's pretty easy. Honestly, all you do is just lift it and pull it out like this, and it should just pop out just like that. Go around and just pull them all out. And that's actually why I got some more tabs, is because, as you can see, a couple of these actually just broke, so I'll need to end up replacing those. The other ones, they're still getting good shape on here. Now that your liner is loosened, just go ahead and kind of fold it behind the tire like I do here, and then what you want to do is find your fog light. Normally the fog light is marked with the green tape, so all you want to do is just pop it out or unplug it. Alright, and finally we're moving on to the upper part of the bumper. There will be a few 10mm bolts that you'll have to take out, and then a few more of those little push things that you'll have to prop out as well. So these are the bolts that you're going to want to take out. Your coolant reservoir, you'll need to take out that bolt along with that bolt, followed by that bolt. You have to push this out, push this out. Same with the other side, just duplicate, push that out, this bolt, push that out. And then you'll be able to actually kind of flip this up and then be able to pop your bumper out. Alright, now it's as easy as just pulling up on here. You should just pop up like that, pop up on this side, and now this is loose off of the front. So now you'll want to move to the sides of the vehicle and pop out the bumper starting here, and I'll show you guys how to do that. All right, moving on to removing the bumper. Now that we got the top popped out, all you have to do is just grab your bumper right here, and it's going to be a pulling forward motion like that, and it should just pop out. Now this next part is kind of tricky. What you're going to want to do is I actually grab up here, and then I like to grab down below, and I'll just kind of lift and pull out just like that, and that pulls it off of here. And then I'll do the same thing with this other side. Grab up top, grab down below, and just kind of pop it out. Alright, now that we've got the front bumper off, now we have room to actually work on the car. First things first, we'll need to remove this bracket that goes across the top here to get access to the radiator. As you can see down below here, there's actually supposed to be grommets between the radiator and this bracket, and there's not. So we're going to add some in, and I'll show you guys how to do that. The next step to taking this beast apart is just going to be removing those two front bolts that you see here. So there's going to be 3 on the back. There's going to be one mounting this AC line right here, and then behind this reservoir there's going to be one more right there, and there actually should be one right there as well. And then one on the left side or the right side of the vehicle, just one back behind the cooler. So that's why I had to disconnect that. Alright, so now what I'll do is I'll kind of just lift this up, and then I'll want to lift the radiator out of the mount and just kind of set it down on the skid plate is what I'm going to do. Alright, there we go. And you just want to be careful so you don't damage your radiator. But now as you can see, looking down here, there, now I have access to put that grommet in where it's supposed to be. Moving on to adding the grommets in. Pretty simple, just slip them in there and then we'll put the radiator back on. Alright, now that I got the lower and the upper bushings back on the radiator, now I can mount the radiator back up where it was. Alright, that was a little bit of a pain, but I was eventually able to get them to fall down into those grommets. here you can actually see the reason why we're having to replace this AC line. What was happening is my radiator was sitting on the skid plate and was just bouncing up and down on the frame, causing this little dent right there and bending the line, therefore it cracked. So this is the reason we're replacing it. And just like that, now it's time to put the bracket back on top before we move on to fixing the AC lines. As you can see, I actually left this bolt out just because we're going to be messing with this AC line and taking it out, and I also left the back ones out on both sides. I'll put those in just a minute, and then I just left this loose so we can work around it as well. So now we're going to work on taking the bolt out of here. So we're going to take that bolt out, and then those should slide out, and then we'll work on getting those tubings replaced. Alright, coming up to the top now, this is that line that we're going to be taking out, is this one right here. So I'm just going to follow it and kind of figure out where it's going to come out at. Look like it's going to come out up here, and so we will have to take that off right there. As far as getting this line off, we might have to take that out and take this off just so we can kind of pull up on it. But I'll see if I can get it out just kind of wiggling it back and forth here. There we go. We got our line out. So that was a little tough getting out. So I think I'm going to take these off just so I can put it in a lot easier. In order to remove this completely, I gotta take all these covers off, so I'll just take those off real quick. It's no big deal.
Don't wanna come off like a peacock, but girl, I gotta show you something. Afterwards, I'll wipe my feet off, but stand there, watch me while I walk it out. Add it up while I walk the circumference. Take your time to do the math. That all adds up to something.
You want to be very gentle with these lines because they are aluminum, and so they can crack and bend real easily. But basically, this side's gonna drop back down there, and then this one's gonna go across right there. So we'll kind of just lift this up. So we got this side pushed mostly in there. I think it'll suck down a little bit more when we put the nut on there and start tightening it. And then there's this line down here that kind of has clamps to it. So we got those clamped back on. The next thing to do is just going to go down below and put it back in down here.
Remember too, and all the times I bit the truth, and all the times I flew you out, and all the times you flew me out, and all the times it felt so good to make up just
Alright guys, so we got the lowers put on, and the uppers now on. So let's go ahead and put all of our covers, our air intake back on.
Sucker punch to my heart. I didn't know you were done seeing stars. I'm on the floor, screaming, shouting, crying, what for? Sucker punch to my chest. I didn't know you could make such a mess. I'm on the floor. Kick me while you're at it, give me more. You promised me, said forever, wrote it in concrete. Built us a foundation that was made to last. Shit, I didn't think it'd break that fast. Where's the sense in acting like I need no self-defense? Then back me in a corner, did you plan this all along?
And just like that, guys, we're ready for the bumper. And it's just going to be putting the bumper back on, same way you took it off, just starting with the middle part and working your way out. Alright, now those new ones actually come in handy. I like just replacing these if I can, because they just weaken really fast. So now all you want to do just for your bumper is to put these back on. You just push them in there on both sides. And just like that, guys, we're moving down to the lower now. We just got to plug our lights back in, and it's as easy as just grabbing that cable you unplugged and plugging it back in. Alright, and just like that, guys, the Jeep Grand Cherokee is now all put back together. The front bumper is on, the AC lines are in, and the radiator is no longer sitting down on the skid plate. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you guys did, please hit that thumbs up button and share it with a friend. And feel free to subscribe if you're not already. That way you can never miss a video. But I hope you guys all stay blessed, and we'll see you guys in the next video.